Hey folks, welcome back. Thanks again for joining us. Got a presentation for you. Check it out, get in the comments, let me know what you think, and we'll chat briefly on the other side. All right, here we go. So last year, over a year ago, I showed you all this. And what I thought I was seeing was a near collision. And I had a lot of people saying, well, this footage isn't triangulated, that's just a bug in the foreground. And my feeling was that this is an avoidance. So it had to be a near miss and they had to be sharing space. That's the way I viewed that. And I still do to an extent, at least in the sense that they're sharing space. But I don't know anymore that it's a near miss. Then, not long after that one, I captured and shared this with you guys. And, at the time I called this cartoonish because it was so fast. And you'll see when we look at it in real speed, it's ridiculous. But more importantly, this thing demonstrates an approach. This thing approached the chopper. And it's tough to say otherwise, in my opinion. I mean, how else do you describe this, right? And so if it approached the chopper, then by definition, it's up there and they're sharing space. And also it has this kind of look back thing that it does when it pauses up there like that and just keeps going, which is very, very interesting. Then I captured and shared this with you guys. And again, this is not a near miss, this is an approach. I mean, this thing comes up at an amazing speed and hesitates and then shoots out back to the left. And it's tough to write this off as anything other than something approaching our aircraft. Again, then I showed you guys this down here in the bottom left. This thing comes over, catches up with the chopper, gets up to cockpit height, and then departs. That's not a near miss. That's an approach. What it's approaching for, who knows? But you cannot see all of these things and write them all off when they're so consistent. So then we fast forward to this past week, and I see this drone, and it's just up there. It's a Southern California Edison drone. So I record it, and this thing turned to the left. Look at this. It's going up, and it banks left specifically and seeks out the drone and then passes it. Here it is in real speed. And it wasn't particularly high. You can see a power line at the bottom there. But what's interesting is this. It seems to tilt. You see this? As it passes, right after it passes, it affects the drone. It tilts. And here it is again in real speed, and you can see it. Yeah, so this is yet another example of something seeking out a human-made object in the sky. How else to say it, I don't know. But that's what this is. And then finally, and we're going to end on this, this is just crazy. Watch in this circle, this thing just appears, which in and of itself is crazy, but it appears and then it just elevates under control, goes straight up, and it seems to be like blinking or something, and then it descends under control, and look what happens next. I mean, explain this. And you'll see the acceleration after it hits the tail in real speed. Look at this acceleration. I mean, this thing is fast. But again, this is something approaching an aircraft under control with deliberate movements. And it's tough to say otherwise. And then again, this thing, the fact that it just appears out of nowhere and then, ascends and then descends right upon the tail of this craft is just amazing. And so you see all of these things, and then you have to go back to that first capture here and say, oh yeah, no, That's not just some random near miss. That was an approach. And my thinking on this has evolved significantly, because when I first captured that first one last year and saw it, I was thinking about pilot safety and all these other issues. Not that I'm still not thinking about them, but the evidence suggests that, again, like I've said recently, we're snails and earthworms. It might be a near miss to the snail or the earthworm, but it's not a near miss to us when we're avoiding it, right? And I see these same things similarly now. These things approach at super high speeds. Their maneuverability is off the chart. And it might be a near miss from the pilot's perspective, but from whatever these things are, that's not a near miss. These things are just approaching and maneuvering around our aircraft. That's how I see it. That's how my thinking has evolved on it. I'm not married to the proposition. If there's evidence that suggests otherwise, I'll change my opinion again. But I just wanted to share this with you. And yeah, so let me know what you guys think in the comments. And thanks for your time. Talk to you on the next one.